In the previous video, we talked about loans where a borrower borrows so much money and then pays back not only the principal, the amount the borrower borrowed, but plus interest earned. Now what we're going to look at are what are called discount loans. Now, as mentioned in previous examples, the borrower receives the principal, the amount they're borrowing, and pays back that principal plus the interest. But now in a simple discount loan, the borrower actually receives the principal less the interest, but pays back the principal. Now let's illustrate this with an example. So a 6-month $18,000 treasury bill is sold with a discount rate of 1.925%. Find the price of the T-bill and the actual interest rate paid by the treasury. So for this T-bill, in 6 months they'll receive $18,000, but what they pay is not the $18,000. They'll pay the $18,000 less the interest. So to figure out what is the actual price, first we figure out how much is the discount on this treasury bill. That means how much interest would you have from an $18,000 for 6 months at a rate of 1.925%. So in this example, the discount is the principal times the rate times the time, which would be $18,000 times the 0.01925, the interest rate in decimal form, times the time. Now remember, the time is in terms of years, so since it's 6 months, that's 6 over 12, which would be 1/2. Now if you multiply those together, you get $173.25. So this is the discount, so the actual price is the $18,000 minus the discount. So a person would have to pay $17,826.75 for this T-bill, and what they'll get in 6 months from buying this will be the $18,000. Now the thing is, when we figured out our discount, we assumed the interest rate was on the $18,000, not the $17,826.75. So we could figure out what is the actual interest rate using the actual price of the T-bill. So to find the actual interest rate, we use that the principal, the amount that we're actually paying for the T-bill is $17,826.75, and that the interest we're paying is the $173.25, and that the time is still 6 months, so half a year. So plug in the interest, which is that $173.25, into for I. The P is $17,826.75 for P, and the time is 1/2, the 6 months. So plugging those into the formula, we now solve for R. Multiplying the 17,826.75 times 1/2, you get 8,913.375, and we'd have that times R. So we divide both sides of the equation by that. So we get that R would be approximately 0.019437 ... So let's say rounding that to 3 decimal places in the percent. The actual interest rate you earn is actually 1.944%. Now this is good in this case because you're making money. But if it goes the other way, if you were actually borrowing money where you'd borrow $17,826.75 and had to pay back $18,000 in 6 months, your interest rate is actually a little higher at again the 1.944%.